welcome to the finale of Season 15 of the Lord of the Rings Online. I am finishing up here in Enedwaith. I have done all of the quests that I can do and all of the deeds. Certainly there are a couple of raids here that I will have to come back to when the time is more appropriate, meaning a time in which I have all the quests available for the raids, and also when I'm a bit higher level as appropriate for each of the raids. But for now, I'm going to follow the standard template that I've used for these finales. So I'm going to go over a new title, I'm going to go over a new steed, I'll go over my virtues going into the next season, and of course I'm going to be showing you each and all the deeds that you can accomplish here in Enedwaith. In addition to that, I will also go over the reputation factions. Something new that I will be doing this finale is that I'm going to end it with a epic quest, because if you remember, I am now in chapter 1 of book 4 of volume 3, and behind me are 2 rangers, and I have to make a decision which ranger to go with in terms of my path to Dunland, and that will take me to the next season, which is of course going to be Dunland, season 16. So that's how we will end this episode. So that's a lot of stuff to get through. Let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, as always, I start by going with a new title pertaining to the season I just finished. So this time I am Kippen Proudfeet, Protector of Enedwaith. Excellent. As far as my virtues and my deeds, nothing has changed here. I'm still going red line for optimum damage. That way I can blast through the content a little bit more quickly. Nothing's going to change in terms of my traits. As you remember, I have Hobbit Stature to give me a little bit of might, Hobbit Stealth, which I don't really use, and then Return to Mickle Delving. That way I can have a little bit more mobility. And then I'm doing the Hobbit Club damage bonus. That way I get a 5% damage bonus by default with my legendary club here that I have. So that helps out tremendously. And then I have Hobbit Silence. Sometimes it's useful for getting myself out of a pickle. And then I have my virtues. I've got Determination, Discipline, Loyalty, Honor, and Tolerance for now. So mainly trying to work on mitigations, agility, vitality, those sorts of things. So that's that for now. Let me go ahead and open up the deeds, and suppose I'm here in Eriador, maybe, right? Yeah, alright, so let me show you the completed deeds. There are lots of them. So there are a few exploration deeds like Exiles from the Lonely Mountain, Little Wonders, Path of the Grey Company, The Long Road of the Hobbits. Then there's this secret deed called the Fisher King, which I will be showing you. Master of the Stairs is also a secret deed, which I will show you how to unlock. And then Protector of the Enedwaith, I believe this is for doing quests here, or it might be a meta deed. And then the Cartrevs is another exploration deed. The Odiferous, this is another secret deed, which I will show you how to do. And then Mysteries of the Enedwaith, I believe those are the quest ones. And then, of course, we have the Slayer deeds. Cuthraul and Elhudan-slayer. And then Dunlending, Giants, Gwibers, Half-orcs, Wolf and Shadow Wolves, and Wood Troll Slayers. So let me go ahead and show you all of those right now. Let's start with a hidden secret deed. This deed is called Fisher King, and in order to unlock it, you simply have to discover the location of this fishing hole here in the northwestern reaches of Enedwaith. While most of the stores of Mar Talhu are master farmers and expert hunters, a few choose to make their living fishing. You don't even need to fish here, you just have to find the location. Only a few, even among the store hobbits of Mar Talhu, know the location of this marvelous fishing hole. Once you unlock this deed, you get the title Fisher King, or Fisher Queen if you're a female character, and this is the location. Another hidden deed in Enedwaith is called the Odiferous, in which you need to complete the quest Miraculous Growth 10 times. You've seen me do it in the playthrough. The stores of Mar Tulhau pride themselves as farmers, using only the finest spore droppings as fertilizers and marigold around their gardens to ward off pesky animals. So this is the hobbit here in Mar Tulhau that will give you the quest, and then you simply need to repeat it 10 times. But it is on a daily timer, so you're going to have to come back for at least 10 days in a row. You can't just do it all in one day, unfortunately.
I might have
Stay and speak with me a bit, Kippen. You've got a good eye for farming, and I was wondering if you could help me again. Could you gather up more boar droppings and marigolds for me and Violet? We're always in need of these, and you know what to look for. Will ye help us? So you gotta do this 10 times. And then basically the boar droppings and the marigolds are all around this area, so you just run around collecting it. So good luck. The next hidden deed is called Master of Stairs. And in order to unlock this deed, you have to ascend and descend Nar's Peak a total of 5 times. So 5 round trips should unlock the deed. This one is a little bit nebulous as to the exact requirements, but this is the route that I took. I basically did what I am showing you here on the screen 5 times total, and that unlocked the deed for me. One thing to note about this deed is that it only unlocks at level 60, so if you're level 59 and you're trying to do this, you're never going to make it. You have to be at least level 60 or else it's not going to work. This is considered a descent. Make sure you cross the log bridge here. And then you can turn back around and climb the stairs. Looking up the stairs, you wonder how you ever survived to make it to the top. It does take a while, but as long as you do this a few times, you should be good to go. Ah, man, I'm getting lost. Don't be like me. Don't get lost. Kind of have to go down a little bit to continue your way up. Oh man, I'm so lost. Sorry. Dang it. It's not a Renaissance gaming video. Unless I get lost, right? You guys know and expect that from me by now. Certainly on the right path then. And there we go, finally at the top. Looking down the stair, you wonder how you ever mustered the courage to make the ascent. The first exploration deed in Enedwaith is Exiles from the Lonely Mountain. When Smaug threw down the dwarves of Erebor, Thror and his family and many of their subjects escaped south, eventually crossing through Dunland and north to the Blue Mountains. The first marker is the marker at Ford Maru. This pillar marks a site where the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain, under the leadership of Thror and Thrain, encamped during their exile. Next is Nar's Peak. This pillar marks a site where the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain, again under the leadership of Thor and Thrain, temporarily settled during their exile. Next is the Pool of the King. This pillar marks a site where the dwarves, again under the leadership of Thrain, encamped during their exile. Next is Aranyant. This pillar marks a site where the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain, under the leadership of Thrain, encamped during their exile. Next is the dwarf marker in Forderith. This is another location where the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain encamped during their exile. Finally, there is the dwarf marker in Thorin's Hall. This pillar marks the site where the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain, under the leadership of First Rain, then Thorin Oakenshield, finally settled during their exile. The next exploration deed is called the Long Road of the Hobbits. It is said that the Hobbits of the Shire originated east of the Misty Mountains, and that after crossing the Misties, a family of Stoors settled in Enedwaith. The first objective is the Hobbit lamppost near Unig Pool. This lamppost marks a place where the first Hobbit pilgrims wandered through Enedwaith on their long journey to the Shire. Next is the lamppost near Echa Durvan. This lamppost marked the place where the first Hobbit pilgrims wandered through Enedwaith on their long journey to the Shire. Next, there is the lamppost near Mar Tulhal. This lamppost marks the place where the first Hobbit pilgrims wandered through Enedwaith on their long journey to the Shire. Finally, there is the Hobbit lamppost near the statue of Bulroar in Brockenborings in the Shire. This statue was raised to commemorate Bulroar Took's victory over Golfinbol and the invention of the game of golf. The next deed is called Little Wonders. While patrolling the Gloom Glens, you are amazed to find items clearly belonging to the Hobbit folk, however rustic. The first finding is the Hobbit arrow in the Gloom Glens. This rough-hewn arrow either belonged to a small child or a Hobbit. The make indicates a Hobbit. Next is the Hobbit boots in the Gloom Glens at the Kingsway Gate. These boots, while crude and rustic in design, are clearly of Stoor make. Next is the Hobbit bucket in the Gloom Glens. This little bucket might have been the toy of a child, but if so, the maker took great pains to make it labor worthy. Next is the Hobbit skeleton in the Gloom Glens. The skeleton is clear evidence that hobbits live or once lived in the Gloom Glens. Next is the Hobbit pick. This mining pick is certainly an implement of Hobbit make. Finally, there is the Hobbit bow. Hobbits were once known as great archers, but now they are better known for gardening. This bow suggests that there are still hunters among them. The next exploration deed is called Path of the Grey Company. Rangers of the North, kinsmen of Aragorn, son of Arathorn, have ridden forth to their chieftain's aid. As they pass south to Rohan, scout the way ahead for the best roads. The first landmark is Echa Dagoras. Echa Dagoras is the encampment of Dagoras of Estelden and his companions. It is here that the Grey Company entered Enedwaith and went their separate ways, hoping to pass through the region unnoticed by Saruman's spies. Next is Ecod Ceridon. Ecod Ceridon is the encampment of Ceridon of Breeland and his companions. Next is Ecod Idrenfair. Ecod Idrenfair is the encampment of Idrenfair and his companions, who had aided the Meladrim in southern Mirkwood. Next is Ecod Dervon. Ecod Dervon is the encampment of Dervon of Estelden and his companions. Next is Harndarion. Harndarion is the ruin of an ancient fortress built by the men of Gondor long ago. The next exploration deed is the Cartrevs of Enedwaith. The clansmen of the Ukluth have many outlying farmsteads, though they have come under attack of invaders from the south. The first landmark is Cartrevs of Enedwaith. This hut is the home of the shepherd Duvid. Along with his daughter Evanan, he tends to his flock in Forderith. Next is Cartrevs of Emlyn. This stead belongs to the herdsman named Emlyn. Recent troubles in the lands of the Ukluth have caused him to abandon his home for a time. Next is Cartrevs of Rurith. This stead belonged to a herdsman named Rurith until raiders from the south butchered him and his family and burnt it to the ground. Next is Cartrevs of Mathil. This stead belonged to the herdsman named Mathil. Raiders in the south burnt it to the ground while Mathil was away. Finally, there is Cartrevs of Haemon. This Ukluth farmstead is one of the few that survived the attacks of the half-orcs. Next are the Slayer deeds here in Enedwaith, starting with the Cuthraul and Elhudan-slayer, and the best way to do this is to just kill some of these here in the Mornshaws. There's a fairly good concentration of them all around here, as you can see them sprinkle the map as far as the eye can see. Next is the Dunlending-slayer deed, and there are multiple locations in which you can do this, but this one here does offer a fairly good concentration of the warriors. They're low HP enough to where you can mow them down and get your numbers up fairly quickly. Just outside Forderith. Next is the Giant Slayer, and there's really only one location here in the valleys below Norris Peak. There are plenty of giants here. Just make sure you fight efficiently as to not get killed, even if you are over leveled. They can pack a punch. In a similar location, there is the Gwiber-slayer deed, and you can kill either these big dragons here, they will count, but also the little dragonlings that don't look like much, but they both have similar amounts of HP, so it doesn't matter which ones you hit. They're both going to keep you fairly busy. Next is the Half-orc Slayer deed, and this one should go pretty fast. They're all over the plains here in the central part of Enedwaith, but this location in specific, outside this burned home, has a good concentration of them. Next, there is the Wolf Slayer deed, and there is the Black Dens here outside of Forderith, and there's a good amount of wolves here. If you go into the cave itself, there's going to be more wolves in there, but I prefer to just stay outside and let these respawn. Next, there is the Wood Troll Slayer deed, and they are sprinkled all over the Mornshaws. So you basically just have to go around and find them. They're not very well concentrated, but you shouldn't have to walk very far in between each of them. They're dispersed well enough. Alright, so next up, let's go over some of the reputation factions here in Enedwaith. There are two reputation factions. Number one, there are the Algreg, men of Enedwaith. And then there is also the Grey Company. So two factions in which you have to work for here. And again, you can get reputation with these by doing the quests, the deeds, killing some beasts, doing some of the raids, and things of that sort. If you do all the quests and all the deeds like I did, that still will not be enough to get you Kindred reputation with Algreg. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to do some of the repeatable quests a few times over to make sure you hit that Kindred. That being said, let me go ahead and show you these reputations. So let me pull up the reputation factions here. And we will start with Algreg, Men of Enedwaith. The Algreg of Enedwaith, Men of the Hills, whose lands are ruled from the halls of Nen Leglin. So, these are basically all of the wildling type people that you're kind of helping here. And I believe that you can barter for the reputation in here. So there will be 2 barterers in here. And here's one of them. I'm looking for the second one. I don't see them. Oh well, let me start here. Oh, I guess it's both of these. Maybe. Alright.
Your trade is not worth my time.
So there are a few things here. There are recipes. There are some interesting housing items and wearable items that you can use. And then there are, of course, some emotes, which I will be getting because I don't have this sneeze emote. And then I don't have this tickle emote, so I'll take that. And then there are more items. And then what I'm mostly interested in here is the prized Algreg steed. Just like that. And then return to Enedwaith. And then, oh man, there's a couple of emotes here that I'm not going to be able to afford. Just because I don't have enough golden tokens. Although, I do think that you can exchange between the two if I'm not mistaken. Maybe you can't. Maybe I'm wrong. Dang it. That's alright. For now. So I need to get the drunk and the man dance emotes.
I doubt you have anything I could want, Devodiad.
And then this guy will trade in some legendary items and things of that sort. But nothing too interesting for him. Unless you want the legendary items, which I don't, because I don't really need them. So yeah, there you go. Let me go ahead and, well, I guess this is my return to Enedwaith skill. Let me get rid of that for now. And then I guess I got my emotes. Which ones did I do? Tickle and then sneeze. So let's take a look at both of those. Here is the sneeze emote. Interesting. And then here is the tickle emote. How odd. Alright, so I'll have to come back and grab the other 2 emotes at some point. But that's okay for now. And then let me pull up my mount here and let me go all the way down. Where's my new one? There it is. So I can show you guys what it looks like. That is a pretty cool looking steed, I'm not going to lie. Nice. Alright, so next up, let me talk about the other reputation faction here, the Grey Company. A company of rangers gathered from the breadth of the Northlands, traveling south to answer Aragorn's call to battle. Alright, so there's going to be a couple of locations where the reputation vendors are going to be for this one. Number 1 in Thoroscoom, so let me travel over there, and I can show you everything. Alright, perfect. So here are a couple of the barterers.
May go on, fellow wanderer.
Alright, so hopefully I still have enough golden ones to get the horse. Oh, well, here you go. This is what I was looking for, so I can barter, use some of my silver ones to get some golden ones. So basically, again, you got some potions, some recipes, you got this spin emote. Why not? Let me grab one. Then you got some items that you can wear. Muster in Harndirion. This is going to be exclusive for wardens. And I'm definitely going to be taking that. That way I can get more travel skills and become more fluent at traveling all over Middle-earth. Guide to Harndirion is going to be the hunter equivalent of what I just got. So there you go. There's also this jump emote, which I need to get. There's more items. There's more emotes, and then the Grey Company Steed, which, man, I am going to have to get, of course. So I'm gonna need 20 tokens for that. Hopefully I have enough silvers to get 20. Might just barely have enough there. Okay, good. So let me go down here and let me grab the prized Grey Company Steed. Sweet. And then basically all the other things that I'm gonna want are going to be the emotes. Those are the most important things, I think. So let me see. Did I get the jump emote? Did I get it? I can't remember. Let me scroll up here. Yes. No, I got the spin. I got the spin. I didn't get the jump. So I guess that was on the first page. I got the spin. Let me see how many golden tokens I'm gonna need to get all the other ones. So 10, it's gonna be 15 total. I don't think I have enough silvers to get 15 golden tokens. That's not gonna happen. So I'll have to come back and grab those emotes as well. Alright. And then this guy...
Greetings. I'm sure we can be of mutual service to one another.
He'll just trade you some legendary items. So not too much there. And then there's also gonna be a few more in Odiferous. So let me swift travel over there. So I can show you that reputation. Alright, so we got a couple over here.
Our scouts will require the greater part of our provisions.
So nothing too exciting here. Just some of the same stuff, really. Actually, it's all the same stuff. So you can find reputation vendors in other locations.
I know not how we will supplement our provisions.
And the legendary. So those are the two reputation factions here in Enedwaith. Let me go ahead and show you the mount of the Grey Company. That way you can see what that looks like. And then I'll decide which one I want to use for the next season. I think I'm going to go with this one. It's kind of a simplistic design, but it looks very nice. I like how trimmed the horsehair is, and I like that little insignia there at the front. So I'll probably stick with this for the next season. Excellent. But for now, let me head back to Lanuk.
Greetings.
That way I can do the epic storyline. And then we can finish the season strong before heading into Dunlending. So again, you have a choice here. There are two paths that you can take. The southwest or the southeast path. One of them goes through the Bone Vales. And I think that's the one I'm going to ignore for now. So, as a completionist, it always drives me crazy to have to pick between one of two paths. But that's okay. I will go ahead and speak with Bregiar.
Trumdrang is a forested land, where shadows pool in the hollows between the hills.
The southwest passage into Dunlend will take us through Trumdrang, Kippen. It is a forested land where shadows pool in the hollows between the hills. As I scouted ahead, I saw emblems and totems of a horned stag, but few people. They are likely to be on the edge of the conflicts in Dunlend, though it be by their choice or by the necessity I did not discover. You are welcome to come with my group into Trumdrang, Kippen, and we will learn the truth of it. Okay, perfect. And then we can also speak with this guy.
The Bone Vales are dusty and barren, and its people are tough, like coffin nails.
The southeast passage into Dunlend will take us through the Bone Vales, an inhospitable and barren land. The crags and valleys are dusty and barren, and its people are tough like coffin nails. There are few souls in the Bone Vales, few eyes to watch our passage. Caution must be our watchword, stealth our constant companion. My group would welcome your presence, Kippen.
Which road do you wish to take into Dunland? Each will have its dangers.
You have heard what we know of each of our possible paths into Dunlend. Each way could be dangerous, and we will not know what awaits us until we get there. Which road do you wish to take into Dunlend, Keepin? Each will have its dangers. Make your choice and tell Bregiar or Presidir which group you will follow. Bregiar, if you wish to travel through Trumdrang, and Presidir, if you wish to enter the Bone Vales. Alright, so I am going to go with this one.
To the group that will travel into Trumdrang, the land of the stag.
Very good, Kippen. I welcome you into the group that will travel through Trumdrang, the land of the stag. We will do our best to come that way into Dunlend free of danger. We will move swiftly and silently, and our company will be in numbers small enough as to escape prying eyes. Saruman knows that we must pass into Dunlend, but the time and manner of our coming is still ours to control. Let us be off at once. We can stop and see how things fare once we have crossed into Trumdrang. So, talk to Bregiar once you arrive at Duvy's Point in Dunlend. So, let me take a look at my map, and Dunlend is going to be all the way south. So why don't I start heading over there? And we will basically conclude this finale, because obviously when I cross into Dunlend, I'm going to consider that, my friends, Season 16. So we will cross the edge of the map together, and then we will go from there. So I'm going to have to follow the road south first, and then I can turn a little bit westward to take that southwest passage. It's been a very fun season. I'm recording this finale really many months after I actually recorded the season. If you guys saw my channel update video a while ago, you'll understand that I had to take a few months break from uploading videos, which was very unfortunate. I never intended things to be that way. But, you know, if you watch that video, you know that a lot of things happened in my personal life that I had to deal with. And it was just hard to maintain the consistent upload schedule. I do apologize once again for that, but I'm back into things now and excited to be back into Lord of the Rings Online. Upset at all the missed time, but I'm gonna make up for it. I'm gonna push ahead and gonna have a lot of fun doing it. And I'm glad that you guys are coming along. I wonder if I should come this way. Maybe I should. No, I'm just gonna cross south into Dunlend, and then at the next season I'll worry about specifically where to go. I will cross southward. There's still a lot of things I need to come back to and do here in this map, mainly the 2 raids, but I'll come back to that. I need to speak with a few people in Dunlend and do some of the quests in Dunlend to fully unlock all of the quest chains available for the 2 raids in this map. So it makes more sense to do some of the things in Dunlend first and then come back and do the raids, so I don't have to do the raids multiple times. That seems inefficient. Alright, so that was it. That was Season 15 of the Lord of the Rings Online, and I'm about to cross into Dunlend, the site of Season 16. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you're excited for all the content that lies ahead. I certainly am. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.